Welcome to the Rube Report, a weekly in-depth look at Astoria High School sports with Athletic Director Howard Rube. The Rube Report is brought to you by Northwest Lending Group. It's time to hit the ground running. Here's your host, Coach Howard Rube.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Rube Report. This is Howard Rube, Athletic Director and head football coach of your Astoria High Fighting Fishermen. Very excited to be with you on this Thursday afternoon to break down everything going on in the world of AHS athletics. I'll be joined by Mr. Dane Gouge, owner-operator of Astoria Ford, and the voice of the fishermen, as well as the producer of our show, Sean O'Connor. So please be with us for the next 30 minutes. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Rube Report. We'd like to thank our title sponsor, the Northwest Lending Group. The Northwest Lending Group has been helping Clatsop County residents achieve their dream of home ownership since 1992. Please give Greg a call. He has a full range of mortgage products. He can be reached at 503-325-4116. Again, that's at 503-325-4116. And we would also like to thank our participating sponsor, Joe's Mobile.
Got a date and you're running late? Don't hesitate. Go to Joe's Mobile Oil and you'll feel great.
I love the effort. Not sure if it was any good, but I love the effort.
I'll get with Sean later and we'll sing it.
You're going to sing that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was great. Could you do it again? I want to hear it.
You got
again.
a date, running late. Don't hesitate. Go to Joe's Mobile Oil and you'll feel great.
Got a date, running late. Now, why am I stopping?
Get gas. Get anything at Joe's Mobile Oil.
I like it. Okay. If there's something there.
Yeah.
All right. I like it.
I'm just thinking Joe's Mobile Oil. You can just get in there and get your gas. You can get your sunflower seeds. You can get your soda. You can get your hunting license. There you go.
You cannot get a hunting license.
Yes, you
now
can.
You're exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
What about, don't you have to get like a fishing license too to go?
Get it there.
Seriously.
Seriously.
No more waiting in line at Fred Meyer?
Nope.
For the one time every 5 years somebody invites me?
There you go.
Somebody feels sorry for me?
You mean me?
Yeah. The one invite I get every 5 years. Hey, somebody invite Rube to do something. Nobody invites him to do anything.
I'm telling you. Propane.
Whatever.
Joe's Mobile Oil.
We have a lot going on in the world of AHS athletics. Today is a busy day. The volleyball team's on the road. Boys soccer's on the road. Girls soccer's at home tonight at CMH Field. Obviously, a big game for the football team tomorrow in Tillamook. And then volleyball team's also at Seaside this weekend for the big varsity tournament. So a lot going on in the next 3 days in our world of athletics and into next week. And at some point, I'll get everybody next week's schedule. But it's been a busy week off of a busy homecoming from last week. And a very fun homecoming, exciting homecoming. We were glad we could play well last Friday night to, kind of celebrate it in the right way, ending it with our football game Friday. And then I believe all the kids and really had a good, hopefully innocent, fun time at the dance Saturday night.
Yeah.
So just overall a real positive vibe to the week, a lot of good energy. And certainly, what were your thoughts with regard to the football game Friday night?
I don't think we really did anything wrong. Well-rounded performance.
It was good to see us running the ball effectively and efficiently. Samboy Tuamato and Tyler Ranta both had big nights running the ball.
Big nights. I don't have the stats with me, but I think they're close to 100 apiece.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, Tyler had one of his long runs and a touchdown run called back on a block in the back call, which is sometimes a hard call.
Yeah, because that was way out of the.
Well, it was well past. It was with one of our offensive linemen. You could see that call sometimes if it's on the edge, on the perimeter with a wide out trying to make a block, and he's getting into a guy's back, even off of initial contact.
I actually thought broadcasting the game that it was on Palick.
No,
he pancaked his guy. And I thought maybe they called it on that because the guy got turned around, but he was pancaking him, and I didn't see the.
Yeah,
it was
even
so far up the field by the time they called it that it was
Well, even worse was it was called on one of our offensive tackles, and it was the D lineman that he was engaged with just tried to spin to get out of his block. And
Yeah.
So
Tough one for Tyler Ranta.
Yeah,
That was a great run.
it was a really good run. It was great blocking all around. It was actually off a speed option play, and we have not run a ton of speed option this fall. And it was good to get that going again. I thought Tyler and Samboy both did a real nice job of blocking for each other. The passing game was still pretty efficient, and we did some good things in the passing game. I think Fridtjof Fremstad has just been having a tremendous year for us at quarterback.
Just looked wonderful.
He's stepping up in the pocket and making some really good decisions. And the real key offensively, too, throughout our success the last month has been protecting the football. And we need to knock on wood or something that we continue to do that, because that's certainly a key to winning football games, is winning that turnover battle.
At every level. If you control that turnover or ball possession and have a plus on that side of the ball and getting turnovers, you most of the time it's a win.
Yeah, and that's regardless of whatever level you're talking about.
Right.
The one play that stood out as well was our defensive score off of an interception by Zach Patterson. And one of the cool things about watching that play was all the dark jerseys, working to the sideline to get a block for him, and him finding a way to get into that end zone, which was a big play. It actually made one of the top 5 Huddle plays. Huddle is a video exchange program. It's an online site that all the schools in the state basically pay for service, and you exchange film through it. But they have some special features on it. And Zach's pick 6 was one of the top 5 plays they recognized throughout the state on Huddle.
Well, maybe we can
week,
have
which was
Dom put
great.
some stuff together off our live feed and
Actually,
put
that
some
would,
highlights at Astoria4.com like we did in the past.
yeah, no, that's a great idea. I'm sure
I don't
Coach
think
Dominy
people want
would be
to
happy to
maybe
do that.
watch the whole game, but they can watch parts of it.
Yeah.
Go back and do it. I have to say that the play of the game for me, and the kickers don't get much love, but a 47-yard field goal in high school is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
With 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, it was a great way to end the half. And,
What a
our
great kick.
it would have been kind of a frustrating way to end the half with our offense kind of stalling and not finishing that drive. And instead, Andrew comes in and kicks a 47-yard field goal. So
Yeah, I actually had some text messages come in. Was that 47 yards? Yes, it was.
yes, it was.
Woohoo!
No, it was a great kick. And in fact, I'm trying to, in my time here, the only one that I saw from any of our kids close to that is, I know when we were at Autzen Stadium in 08, Max hit one from, it was 43 or 48, and I meant to track that down this week, and I haven't done that yet, but no, it was a great kick. KJ Johnson's doing a great job as our holder, and starting with it, we have a sophomore, Josiah Hirsch, who's kind of taken over the deep snapping duties. Samboy Tuamato had been doing it at the beginning of the year, but had tweaked his shoulder early after, I want to say, the North Bend game, and Josiah's basically taken over since then. Dagan Chaddock has also been doing some deep snapping, a junior in our program. And but overall, that's been a real efficient group. And obviously to have that kind of weapon where, you feel like if you can get to the 30-yard line, you have a chance to get some points is a pretty great asset to have at the high school level.
I'm going to call him Legatron Jr.
Great.
Legatron. That's bionic. But you also got the backup Diffenbach get some reps in there, which he was kicking good. So that was nice.
Yeah, so we have sophomore Donnie Diffenbach is a first-time football player, but has a lot of soccer experience, a lot of kicking experience, and I want to say it was the third quarter or the third quarter. Donnie did all the kicking and showed a really good leg, and we actually talked about that on Monday in our team meeting. It's a pretty great thing to have the confidence that not only can your first-string kicker come through and make some big kicks, but you also have a backup kicker that is going to be fully capable. And one of the things that you have to have of a mindset if you're going to put together any kind of deep run is the mindset that no matter who's in the lineup, you're confident that guy is going to come through and be able to make plays. And
Right.
that starts from the head coach to the assistants through the entire team. And we made a point of talking about that in our kicking game. And really, the point being that everybody needs to be working hard and making sure that whenever they're called upon, no one's going to all of a sudden have a burst in our bubble, so to speak, where there's all of a sudden a concern that a guy's not ready or a guy's not going to be able to make plays.
Yep, next man up.
Next man up. That's the term we use. I like it.
And it's nice you get a big lead like that because it doesn't happen very often in the Coapa League, especially, that you can get some young guys out there getting some playing time, because it's not quite the same playing against your own guys at practice when you get to go against that first team Seaside, and you got a bunch of backups guys, younger guys in there. It's good to get them some reps.
It was really good to get guys a lot of different work and to be able to work on some different things. And as you said, in the Coapa League, that doesn't happen very often. Unfortunately for the Seagulls right now, they're very young and pretty banged up. So they were pretty limited, with what they could do with the group we were putting out against them. As we have 13 seniors that are those 13 are on the field and really good athletes and good football players, and then the juniors and sophomores that are complementing them. And so it was, as I mentioned in the newspaper, I think I used the term we had more horses than they did, and that was certainly the case. But Coach Smith is going to do a great job in his first year, and 2 years ago, these games were going down to the wire, and it's just the nature of the beast in 4A football.
Comes around.
Yeah, it can be a cyclical deal. So, anyway, we wish the Seagulls the best in the rest of their season, and certainly, Coach Smith and his staff, we have a lot of respect for those guys, and we know that they will have better nights moving forward.
Yeah, now we're moving forward to Tillamook.
We are on to Tillamook, and we'll go to commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Cheesemakers.
Right on.
Welcome back to the Rube Report. Not only would we like you to please contact Greg at the Northwest Lending Group and visit Joe's Mobile, but we have other participating sponsors that help with this show and the YouTube broadcast provided on Astoria Ford. So please allow me to thank those sponsors. Those are Astoria Ford, Pacific Power, P&L Johnson, Van Dusen Beverages, the Ohana Media Group, PNC Construction, and Clatsop Distributing. Thank you so much for doing what you do to help us and to help keep us connected to our community by doing this show.
Doing the voodoo you do.
I can't keep up with you. What does that mean?
They're doing what they do, taking care of the community.
Okay.
You'll see those names a lot wherever you go.
That is
They're
very
stepping
true.
up.
That is very true. We are very fortunate to be in a community where if it's for kids, the people are standing in line to help. It's a cool thing, really cool thing. One of the great things, I just had this conversation this morning with one of our new teachers, and how are you enjoying being here? And it's amazing. I couldn't be happier. And it's about the way we try to do things at the school, and it's community wide where everybody's here for each other. And he's only been here about 6 weeks and has a great sense of that already. So it's a great thing. We want to, before we talk about the Tillamook Cheesemakers, I do want to give everybody next week's schedule. It's a weird week in the sense that it's kind of a 4-day week, and when I say a 4-day week, the second Friday of October is traditionally a statewide in-service day for educators, and they're encouraged to go to different conferences all throughout the state. And so with that, you'll see a lot of scheduling for teams and high school athletic teams to conclude on Thursday. And we're in that situation where we're actually playing our football game next week on Thursday, and that will be our senior night with Banks. And then
scared me.
There's
my schedule's way off. I don't have it in service day.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's a unique thing, and But anyway, it's kind of how this works. So what's also interesting, it means that there's only going to be one varsity soccer match during the week, one volleyball game, where traditionally we've had a couple a couple league contests every week, and next week there's only going to be one in both boys and girls soccer as well as volleyball. And so let me quickly give you the schedule. On Monday, the Fresh Soft team will be hosting the Tillamook Cheesemakers at 6 p.m. On Tuesday, we will have endowment soccer at CMH Field. Varsity girls will start at 5:30, followed by the boys at 7:30. And because those are endowment games, that means admission will be charged to all students and parents and everyone. So even our district employees that get a district pass would have to pay to attend. We appreciate everybody's support with that. We split the revenue with the OSAA for an endowment game, so a lot of the proceeds will stay directly in our athletic department, and we appreciate your support with that. Then on Wednesday, we have senior night for the volleyball team. We're hosting the Banks Braves. And then, as I already mentioned, Thursday's going to be senior night for football, again, also versus the Banks Braves. We also have some other things going on Friday and Saturday. We do have a JV boys soccer match scheduled for 5 p.m. on Friday at CMH Field against the Banks Braves. And our volleyball team, our varsity volleyball team, will be at the Corbett tournament. And the varsity cross-country team will be at the George Fox Invitational. So that's basically...
You just got that right in your head, don't you?
Yeah, you're pretty impressed. I did that basically from memory, huh?
Yeah, I can't barely get back to my car. Gotta use the horn to find out where it's at in the parking lot.
Well, believe it or not, I do try to know what's...
You know, it's true, Sean. You've ridden with me. Where do we park?
That's why I see you pacing around in the parking lot.
Exactly. But heading, into our first full week of October, the coaches and the kids are continually to work hard. We're extremely proud of everybody's effort. It's been a little bit of a rough go with soccer. It's like anything else. The reward for all your hard work is getting that victory. We had a couple tough losses on Tuesday. The girls at home versus Scappoose, the boys on the road versus Scappoose. Our girls dropped a tough game 2-0, and the boys lost by a goal 3-2.
Nil.
Sorry, nil. I got to use the proper terms. That's good that you know that.
We're going to get you down with that, but right at the end of soccer season.
By the time, yeah. And then the volleyball team competed extremely hard, had a solid match versus the Seaside Seagulls. But again, unfortunately, we dropped that match. And even though, we're on the bottom in girls volleyball right now, we're still ranked 23rd. And that just is a little bit of an indication of how tough our league is. And what's interesting about that, it will probably come down to the last night with regard to our ranking. Because the top 24 teams, make it to the play-in round with the top 8 getting the bye. So
it will be there's a chance.
Well, believe it or not, even though, if you look at our one-loss record, you'd be like, well, our girls' volleyball program, we're playing just the last couple weeks, stringing this thing out. It's not necessarily the case. There's an outside chance we could get an opportunity to play around. And
I'll take anything I can get.
Absolutely. Catch magic in a bottle.
There
Away
we
go. Stranger things have happened. So, but again, the important thing is the kids are working hard, the coaches are working hard, and we're grinding, so to speak.
All right.
Before we get out of here, because we only have a couple minutes left, we do want to quickly mention a couple things about the Tillamook Cheesemakers, led in their second year under AHS alum Kai Johnson, and
used to coach with me.
Kai was with Dane and the boys on our staff. He's one of our former quarterbacks and place kicker. As a player, one of my fondest memories of Kai is his junior year kicking the game-winning field goal against Banks in 2004, which was a huge win for us. At the time, Banks had the longest regular season winning streak in the state, and we were able to knock them off. They were highly ranked at that time. At that time, it was before the computer rankings. It was all AP and coaches vote, and they were ranked number 4. And we we really needed that win, and that ended up helping us get qualified. And in a lot of ways, that was my first year as athletic director, and I tell the story all the time. If we didn't resurrect that football season, my first firing would have probably been of the football coach.
Yourself.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's one of my great memories of Kai. And unfortunately, we don't have more time. We should be able to, maybe next week we'll as a follow-up, we'll tell more Coach Johnson stories.
Yeah, we'll tell. Well, I like to lovingly know him as a quarterback before Jordan Poyer.
That is the answer to a trivia question. Well, everyone, I'm sorry we're out of time, but we appreciate you listening, and we appreciate all your support for our kids and our teams and coaches, and we look forward to seeing you at the games this weekend. Thank you.
This has been the Rube Report, a weekly look at Astoria High School fisherman sports with Athletic Director Howard Rube. The Rube Report is brought to you by Northwest Lending Group. Tune in next Thursday at 12:30 p.m. for the latest Astoria High School sports headlines on Cast 1370, News and Talk for the Coast.